Hi, my name is Emily. I'm from Massachusetts and I'm 17. So you started off with a really hard question for me. I don't really have top 3 favorite because it's always changing and I can never really say for sure, but here's my attempt. Luna Lovegood. She is absolutely one of my favorite characters of all time. I just love her quirkiness and her awesomeness and she really was one of my favorite characters. I also really love Hermione because she was the one I identified with as I was growing up and reading these books. I was definitely a Hermione when I was younger. Let's see. For my third favorite character, I think I'm gonna have to go with Lupin because I just love Remus and I don't know, I just really loved his story of kind of how, he's really set apart and told, you will not be part of this world, and yet he gets to go to Hogwarts and he has these awesome friends who are just like, you're a werewolf? Oh cool dude, that's fine. Let's just all do something illegal and run into the woods with you every weekend. That sounds cool. And I just think that it's really an amazing story there. I mean, Harry Potter is amazing, but okay, that was my attempt at 3. Don't ask me again, I'll change. Let me explain a little bit about how I got into Harry Potter. So I don't know exactly when I read my first Harry Potter book. It could have been my mom read it to me, I don't know. But the first time I really remember being introduced to Harry was in 3rd grade. Our teacher, Mrs. D, she was reading the Harry Potter books aloud to us for our read aloud. And so this was a stage in my life when I was really scared of a lot of things like books and movies, and so when we were reading Harry Potter, I would sometimes go and hide under a desk, but I remember doing that. So we went through the first one and read aloud, and then the second movie came out, so our teacher did a field trip to the second movie. I didn't go because I was terrified of movies, and it's probably a good idea I didn't go considering the giant spiders. I probably would have ran out crying. So I'm glad I didn't try that. But then when we came back, our teacher took a vote, and the class as a whole decided that we were going to read the 3rd book next, rather than the 2nd, because everyone else had gotten the plot of the 2nd one through watching the movie. And so then we read the 3rd book. And so I, for a very long time, confused the 2nd and the 3rd, because I just totally missed the 2nd in my first reading through of Harry Potter. And, for me, Harry Potter wasn't... A lot of people have these stories about how it was such a humongous part of their childhood, and it was a big part of my childhood for me, but, I was never really obsessed as a child. It's really only in the past, year that I've really become obsessive about Harry Potter, which is a bit weird, but yeah. So basically, I've gotten into it several times, not just once. Growing up, my favorite Harry Potter book was definitely the 3rd one. I think I just identified with the younger ages, and I really liked that storyline and, Sirius, and that was I connected with that one a lot. I don't know what my favorite Harry Potter book is now. I definitely have a lot of love for Deathly Hallows. I have a lot of love for Order of the Phoenix, but it's hard to pinpoint one. If I had to, I think that my favorite book right now is Deathly Hallows, for the reason that that's just about the age I am now. That'll technically be me next year, but it's really, reading them now, it really hits me how young they are fighting this war. And, I didn't really get that when I was a little kid and reading them in 3rd grade because, I just knew that they were older, and, older people had more responsibility. It made sense to me in some way that they were fighting a war, and, as I've gotten closer and closer to them in age, and I'm just like, oh, I'm in my 5th year, oh, I'm in 6th year now, it's really hit me that's what they were doing when they were my age. I couldn't do that. For me, it's a tie between the 3rd and the 5th right now, because the 3rd one was one where I really kind of saw them growing up, and that really, just the change between the 2nd and the 3rd really kind of struck me, and I really liked that one, and I absolutely loved being able to see the Time Turner, adventure in movie form. And then I also really liked the 5th one, just seeing that one acted out. I don't know, it's really hard to pick one. If I had to, think I'd say actually the third. I don't know, it's really hard. I'm a Hufflepuff, we're true to the end, united we stand, so I stand with my friends. Hufflepuff tie. So that was me acting out my house for my blog collab. Wizard Rock. That is actually a lot of the reason why I'm obsessed with Harry Potter at the moment. So at the beginning of sophomore year, I met my friend Taylor Lynn, and she was, you know, I didn't really get to know her all that much during the first part of sophomore year, but I still remember the moment when I guess the concept of what was on our iPods came up, and so she showed me that she had Wizard Rock on it, and I still remember the album that was on her iPod was the Remus Lupin's I Was a Teenage Werewolf, and so that was like the first Wizard Rock album that I actually bought. I got a lot of Wizard Rock music through my friends and stuff like that, but that was the first one that I was like, and buy. So that was really exciting. I've been to 3 Wizard Rock concerts. I went to one this past fall, and I saw Ministry of Magic, All Caps, Jason Monday, and Mike Lombardo. And then I went to the Harry Potter Alliance's Blowout, where I saw the Whomping Willows, Justin Flint-Fletchley, Lauren Fairweather, the Harry and the Potters, and then I also went to the Yule Ball this past December, so that was really exciting, and also really terrifying because I was the only one I knew there. Wizard Rock is definitely a big part of my life now, and I am very much looking forward to the next time a concert is close enough to me where I can conceive that I can actually get there. There are some in February that I'm hoping I might get to go to, but they're in New York, so it's up to my mom. Hopefully. What bands are my favorite? Definitely the Remus Lupins. I absolutely love them. The Moaning Myrtles are worth a mention here, although they're not really my favorite anymore. That was the first band I really got into, and I still remember a large chunk of my sophomore year where I would just be listening to their albums on MySpace continuously. And yeah, I'm cool. I'm also a big fan of Ministry of Magic, and although All Caps is not technically Wizard Rock, I still consider it that somehow. I don't know. But those are my favorite bands. I have not been to any Harry Potter conferences. I really want to, and although I can't make it to LeakyCon this year, or possibly next year, I definitely want to make it to a Harry Potter conference really soon. I don't know when that will happen. I also want to go to VidCon, and that hasn't happened yet, and I'm jealous of all of you who are going this year. So jealous. Well, for one, I can bring a brick wall so we can get to Diagon Alley. I can definitely bring a lot of creativeness and createness because I love to do things like make scarves and hats and wands. I'm whittling a wand, dude. What can I say? What else am I into besides Harry Potter? Well, the first thing I'm going to mention directly involves Harry Potter. The Harry Potter Alliance. As a result of me getting into Wizard Rock, I also found out about the Harry Potter Alliance, and since then have started a chapter at my high school, because what other course of action is there to do when I find out about a charity than to become so much a part of it that I am overwhelmed? Part of the reason that I list the Harry Potter Alliance as one of my interests is because I absolutely love activism and working with charities, which explains why my job is this, which of course you don't recognize, but this is the Food Project. The Food Project brings together youth from different communities and backgrounds to create personal and social change, and I know that I've personally been changed a lot in the Food Project, and I've really met some amazing people there, and it's fostered a lot of appreciation for food and for learning and for teaching, and I absolutely love it, and I just love my job. I would definitely like to join you on this journey, so thank you for watching my audition tape. Good luck to everyone involved.